Hey, yo everyone, Andrew here, bringing you another video review, and today we're going to be doing Batman Volume 5, Rules of Engagement. Now, the road to marriage can be a rocky one. You just propose to the person you love, ready to spend the rest of your life with them. But little do you know, not only do you spend the rest of your life with them, but also with their friends, their family, their exes, their secrets, and everything that comes with them. It can be a rocky road that if you do not navigate correctly, well, you could stumble and fall and ruin it all. Selina and Bruce are no different. They need to navigate this road too, and despite the fact that they are superheroes with pointy ears, they still have to learn a lot about each other, about their past, their exes, their friends, their family, and, of course, planning for the future. Rules of Engagement deals with this in very detail. And the first story deals with Catwoman and Batman going to the city Kadim. Forgive me, I'm not great at pronunciation. And they go there for a specific reason. It's because Catwoman's old friend Holly is there, who killed 200 plus people, and Catwoman took the fall for it. Now, it's going to be tough for Selina Kyle to marry Bruce Wayne if she's convicted for murder. So, of course, she needs to go get her name cleared. But along the way, they meet up with someone from Batman's past. None other than Talia al Ghul, who is the mother to Batman's son. And while this is all going on, Alfred announces the marriage, the engagement, to the Robins themselves, who will all act a little differently. The next story is, for lack of a better term, called the Super Friends story, in which Batman and Superman, along with Lois and Catwoman, all go together on a double date for the first time. And they get to learn a lot about each other, not only as individuals, but they get to learn a lot about each other as a couple. And then finally, the last story is the annual story, which tells basically a beginning, middle, and end to Batman's life with Catwoman. From the flirtation, will she, won't she, will he, won't he, to the actual engagement and marriage, to having kids, to old age, and eventually to death. It tells a full, complete story of what would be the life of Batman and Catwoman getting together. And those are the three stories of this comic. So on to the good, the bad, and whether or not you should get it. Good. First and foremost, the art is magnificent in this. Now I'm going to screw up a pronunciation of a name, but Jolie Jones, who does the art for basically the Talia al Ghul series with Catwoman, has stunning art, and this isn't the first time that they have done Batman, or nor the last, but gorgeous, gorgeous art, and it's just absolutely stunning how they draw fight scenes. Really, really great. The art in the whole entire book is very good, so you're going to get a lot of good art. I love the interactions between the Robins, in particular where Dick tries to explain to Damian why Bruce would be getting engaged, because Damian's just absolutely baffled by it. I also love the fight between Talia and Catwoman, but not for the reasons that you think. I like the fact that they have this back and forth about who Batman is. Talia seeing him as this perfect person for her, and only her, to marry, and Catwoman seeing him as a broken individual who's dedicated to this promise he made when he was 8 years old. The Super Friends story is really fun too. Last time we saw Lois, Selina, Bruce, and Clark all together, it was in Hush when Catwoman was throwing Lois Lane off a building. I mean, to be fair, she was kind of trying to break Poison Ivy's spell over Superman, but I mean, it's not the best way to start things off. It's really cool to see them as couples because I, as a person who is married, has couple friends with my wife. And it's always interesting to see how couples work with each other when it comes down to their relationship, how they interact with each other. Are one friendship stronger than the other, or are they equal, or whatever the case may be. It's always interesting, fascinating, but it's really cool to see Superman's reaction in all of this. And of course, the annual was incredibly good. I'm a sucker for love stories, and it was a nice love story with a beginning, middle, and end. And finally, you're probably saying, Andrew, I'm not into all this sappy stuff. Well, let me tell you, there's a good amount of action in the story, too. A lot of fighting, in particular in the very beginning. Batman punches someone so hard he can tell if he has a tongue or not. So there's a lot of good action in there. So don't think that it's all just kisses and hugs. But that's kind of the benefit of this book, is that it is a character study of interactions between various different characters, whether it be father and son, friend, ex, couples. It's kind of that connective glue that makes DC so good, is the interactions between all the individuals. Bad. Well, the only real bad I have with this is in the fight between Selina Kyle and Talia al Ghul, they have a sword fight. And while Talia and Selina are nowhere near top-tier fighters in the DC universe, you know, like Batman, Shiva, Richard Dragon, Black Canary, Nightwing, they are very skilled. Elite level. But in no world do I see Catwoman actually be able to hold her own against Talia in a sword fight. Like, I can understand maybe hand to hand because Catwoman's a little tricky and her fighting's unorthodox, so maybe Talia might have trouble with that. But in a straight sword fight, it's kind of tough for me to believe that she would be able to do that, because, I mean, Talia al Ghul is the leader of the Leviathan, daughter to the Demon Head, part of the League of Assassins. Like, she's trained to fight with all these different weapons, where, I mean, the most background that Catwoman has is her street fighting ability, what she learned from Wildcat, her abilities with her whips, and her very small amount of martial arts skill throughout her years, which all tied together to make her an expert fighter, along with her agility, but nowhere the level of a leader of the Leviathan and a member of the League of Assassins. Other than that, this is a awesome volume. It is where I believe King is starting to really hit a stride with things like, you know, the first few stories were really good, but I believe this is where the storytelling starts to really hit a stride really nicely. I recommend picking this up. Getting it in trade, it's only $16.99, so you're dropping $17, and you get 3 really good stories, a total of 3, 4, 5 issues in an annual, so you're getting more than your money's worth with it. So I definitely recommend getting it. Batman Rules of Engagement. This is Andrew saying, peace out for now.